Hier, yesterday. Aujourd'hui, today. Demain, tomorrow. Okay? Hier, yesterday. Aujourd'hui, today. Demain, tomorrow. So let's see now. Hier, so yesterday. Hier matin. Matin is morning. Okay, so yesterday morning will go in French like hier matin. Hier matin. Okay? Après-midi means afternoon. Hier après-midi. Yesterday afternoon. Hier après-midi. Hier après-midi. Alright? And then soir, evening. Hier soir. Hier soir. Okay, so let's repeat that. Hier. Hier matin. Hier après-midi. Hier soir. Okay? So now, aujourd'hui. Today. Aujourd'hui. Ce matin. So we put here this ce. This matin. Morning. This morning. Ce matin. Cet après-midi. This afternoon. Cet après-midi. Cet après-midi. Ce soir. So soir, evening, this evening. Ce soir. Ce soir. Alright? And then, demain, so tomorrow. Demain matin, tomorrow morning. Demain matin. Demain après-midi, tomorrow afternoon. Demain après-midi. Demain soir. Demain soir. Tomorrow evening. Demain soir. So one more time. Hier. Hier matin. Hier après-midi. Hier soir. Aujourd'hui. Ce matin. Cet après-midi. Ce soir. Demain. Demain matin. Demain après-midi. Demain soir. 50, de 50 à 75, till 75, de 50 à 75. So let's see how they go. 50, 50, 51, 51, 52, 52, 53, 53, 54, 54, 55, 55, 56, 56, 57, 57, 58, 58, 59, 59, 60, 60, 61, 61, 62, 62, 63, 63, 64, 64, 65, 65, 66, 66, 67, 67, 68, 68, 69, 69. And that's normally when my students, when I'm in class with them, start to look at me like they would like to kill me, because now we're getting to the tricky point in French, okay? So have a look here. Now we've got this 70, of course, but then in French it's a bit more tricky, because you take back the 60, and then you will add the 10, okay? So for this 70 session here, you will have to use this 60 and then 10, and so all the numbers from 10 to 19, you will have to put them right here after. Okay, so let's see how it goes. 70, 70, 71, 71. Okay, so you can see here now. 60, 60, and then 11, 11. 71. 72, 72. Same thing here. 60 and then 12. Okay. 73, 73. 74, 74. 75, 75. Okay, so we won't go further, not to be more traumatized, because I've got some nice surprises after that as well. Okay, so remember that well, till 70, well, it's quite not easy, because it's always difficult to remember the numbers, but still it's not that tricky. Okay, so remember that for 70 here, so from 70 to 79, you will have to use this 60, so 60, and then the numbers from 10 to 19, okay? 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, etc. So we'll see the rest in a coming lesson. So now what we'll do, we'll go to till 100, and then we'll see all the what tricky and irregular forms, okay? So if you remember, when we stopped, it was here, okay? So 75. In French, we'll have to use this 60, so 60, okay? And then after that, you will have to put this 15, okay? So remember, from 70 to 79, it will work the same way. So you will have to put this 60, and then the numbers from 10 to 19 after. Sorry, yeah, 19, yes. Okay, so in that case it's 75, 75, okay, 60, and then 15, okay. Next one, 76, okay, so 60 and 16, okay, 76, all right. 77, 77. 78, 78, 79, 79, and then 80. Okay, so for 80 it's 80, 80, all right. 81, 81, 82, 82, 83, 83, 84, 84, 85, 85, 86, 86, 87, 87, 88, 88, 89, 89. And now for 90, well, basically it would be the same thing as we had for 70. So you will take this 80, 80, and then you will add the numbers from 10 to 19 after. So 90, and then 91, so 91, so remember 80, 80, and then 11, 11, 91, 92, 92, 93, 93, 94, 94, 95, 95, 96, 96, 97, 97, 98, 98, 99, 99, and the last one, 100. Remember, final T not pronounced. 100. Okay? Discover this parce que form. So parce que means because. Okay, and it's really useful. So we'll see how to use it. Okay, so parce que here. So the first use of parce que is when you want to introduce the reason. Okay, so we've got two examples here. Il ne mange pas tout de suite. Okay, so here you've got the negative form, remember, ne, and then pas. Manger means to eat. Il ne mange pas, so he doesn't eat. Tout de suite, well, basically it means right now. Parce qu'il, okay, préfère attendre. So in that case, because he prefers to wait. Il préfère attendre. Okay? Préférer, to prefer. And then here you can see that attendre is to wait. Second verb, okay? And then you should put it like here at the infinitive form, so the basic form of the verb, okay? Il ne mange pas tout de suite parce qu'il préfère attendre. Okay? Second example, nous allons dehors. Aller is to go, dehors, outside. Nous allons dehors, so we go outside. Parce que, so because. Nous voulons marcher. Vouloir, to want. Marcher, to walk. Nous voulons marcher, we want to walk. Okay? Nous allons dehors parce que nous voulons marcher. Okay? And then the second option to use this parce que is when you want to introduce the cause, la cause. Okay? Example here. Il prend son parapluie. Parapluie, umbrella. Prendre is to take. Il prend son, his. So he's taking his umbrella. Il prend son parapluie parce qu'il pleut. Pleuvoir, to rain. It rains, il pleut. Il prend son parapluie parce qu'il pleut. Okay? And then, second example. Il appelle le garagiste parce que sa voiture ne démarre pas. Okay, a place to call. Garagiste is this nice person that will fix your car if it's broken or if it doesn't start, like in this example. Okay. Parce que sa voiture, voiture is car, sa voiture, possessive, his car, and then ne pas, so you get the negative form here, and démarrer is to start. Il appelle le garagiste parce que sa voiture ne démarre pas. So because his car doesn't start. Okay? Il appelle le garagiste parce que sa voiture ne démarre pas. Alright? So you can see the two main way of using this parce que. So the first one, the reason. In that case, well, it's something that refers to the person. Okay? Actually, in that case, he doesn't eat because he prefers to wait, and then we go outside because we want. Okay? And then the second possibility, when you talking about la cause, in that case, something that doesn't really, it's not the results of what someone is doing, but it's raining in that case, and then the car doesn't start. It doesn't really, it's not the result of the action of someone. Okay, so that's the two main use of parce que. Then we'll work on le Moyen-Orient, the Middle East. Okay, let's start. Le Moyen-Orient. So it's interesting here because normally if you would have only this word here, you would pronounce it moyen, moyen. Okay, but then as you've got this vowel after, okay, you get to make the liaison between the two. Le Moyen-Orient, Moyen-Orient. Okay, let's start now. Israël, Israël. La Palestine, la Palestine. Le Liban, le Liban. La Jordanie, la Jordanie. Okay, so let's repeat them one more time. Le Moyen-Orient, Israël, la Palestine, le Liban, la Jordanie. Okay, and now we'll see the nationalities. Okay, so Israel, and then I will put the masculine form here and the feminine form here. Israélien, Israélien, so masculine form, and then feminine form. Israélienne, Israélienne, okay, yen, yen, okay, and then Palestinien, Palestinien, feminine form, Palestinienne, Palestinienne. Le Liban, Libanais, Libanais, Libanaise, okay, aise, Libanais, Libanaise. And then Jordanie, Jordanien, Jordanienne, okay, yen, Jordanien, Jordanienne. Okay, so let's see them one more time. Israël, Israélien, Israélienne. La Palestine, Palestinien, Palestinienne. Le Liban, Libanais, Libanaise. La Jordanie, Jordanien, Jordanienne. L'extrême-orient, so Far East, l'extrême-orient, so let's discover that together. So Far East in French we'll say l'extrême-orient, l'extrême-orient. Le Japon, le Japon. La Chine, la Chine, la Chine. L'Inde, so remember you get this nasal here form, IN1, l'Inde, l'Inde, le Pakistan, le Pakistan, Hong Kong, Hong Kong. Okay, so let's see everything one more time here. L'Extrême-Orient, le Japon, la Chine, l'Inde, le Pakistan, Hong Kong. Okay, and now for the nationalities, so each time I will put the masculine form and the feminine form. Okay, le Japon, japonais, japonaise. Okay, so the only difference is there, est. Japonais, japonaise. La Chine, chinois, so it's really this wa sound, remember? Chinois, chinoise, z, was, chinoise. So chinois, chinoise. L'Inde, indien, indien, indienne. So remember this double N, you open it, indienne. Le Pakistan, pakistanais, pakistanaise. Hong Kong, chinois de Hong Kong, chinoise de Hong Kong. So let's see them one more time. Le Japon, japonais, japonaise. La Chine, chinois, chinoise. L'Inde, indien, indienne. Le Pakistan, pakistanais, pakistanaise. Hong Kong, chinois de Hong Kong, chinoise de Hong Kong. Le verbe pronominal. So, what is le verbe pronominal? So first we'll take an example. Regarder, to look, to watch. Okay? And then se regarder. In that case it would be to look at oneself. Okay? So that's the important thing about this verb pronominal. Le verb pronominal will be constructed all the time with this se before the verb. Se regarder, okay? And this se will basically change the meaning of the verb because regarder, to look, to watch, se regarder, to look at oneself, okay? So we'll take an example. So if we take the regarder verb, okay? So normally you will construct this sentence, je regarde la télévision, okay? I watch the television. Je regarde la télévision, okay? But then, if you use this se regarder, so as I said, to look at oneself, in that case, je me regarde. Alright, so you will have to add this me thing here before the verb. Je me regarde. Okay, so let's see how we will conjugate this verb at the present form. Je me regarde. Tu te regardes. Il se regarde. Elle se regarde. Nous nous regardons. Vous vous regardez. Il se regarde. Elle se regarde. So now you can see that you've got to add this me, te, se, nous, vous, se before the verb when you conjugate it. Okay? Let's take another example. Appeler, to call. Okay, and then the important thing in that case is that, as usual, you know, appeler is starting with a vowel, a here, and it does mean that, as usual in French, normally we should have this se, but then e will disappear and it will look like that, s'appeler. So appeler, to call, and then s'appeler, to call oneself. Okay, so let's see how we will conjugate this verb. Je m'appelle. So same thing here, the e that we had previously disappeared. Je m'appelle. So remember, that's normally the verb that you use when you introduce yourself, like I call myself, so my name is, of course, but then in French it's like I call myself. Okay, je m'appelle. Tu t'appelles. Tu t'appelles. Il s'appelle. Elle s'appelle. Nous nous appelons. Okay, so I will make the liaison. Nous nous appelons. Vous vous appelez. Il s'appelle. Elle s'appelle. Sorry. So if you look carefully here as well, so you will have to add this m, t, s, okay, and then nous, vous, s, okay. So remember, it's just because the verb is starting with a vowel. It would be the same if the verb would start with the letter h plus a vowel, because we don't pronounce h, so that's the reason why. My God, I'm losing my voice. Let's hope I will finish. Be careful, because in some cases when you will add this se in front of the verb, then le sens, so the meaning of the verb, will change. So I will put a few examples here. Trouver is to find, okay, and then se trouver means to be, être. Okay, trouver, to find, but then se trouver is to be, être. Passer, to pass. Se passer, avoir lieu, so to take place. Se passer, to take place. Passer, to pass. Okay? And then mettre, to put. Se mettre, well, it's to start. Commencer, to start something. Okay? So remember, trouver, to find. Se trouver, être, so to be. Passer, to pass. Se passer, avoir lieu, to take place. Mettre, to put. Se mettre, commencer, to start something. Les verbes du troisième groupe, and we'll see together more precisely how to conjugate the verbs that will end with uire, uire. Okay, so let's start now. Uire, and the verbs I think that could represent this category is conduire. Conduire means to drive or conduct. Okay, and so let's see how you will conjugate this verb. Je conduis. Tu conduis. Il conduit. Elle conduit. So far it's not that difficult, okay, because I assume that most of you would have put this final S here, S and then T, okay, because it's in most of the cases the way we will conjugate the verbs of the third group. Not all the verbs, but most of them, okay, so that's the reason why you will get this form, je conduis, okay, so it's quite simple, tu conduis, and then il, elle conduit, okay, keep in mind that you pronounce them the same way, okay, so let's see how it will go for nous. And it's actually not that difficult, but then of course most of you maybe would like to see R here, okay, but then no, it's not the case because it will become S. Nous conduisons. Okay, and the good news is that it will stay for vous, vous conduisez, and then also for il, elle, ils conduisent, elles conduisent. Okay, so one more time. Je conduis, tu conduis, il conduit, elle conduit, nous conduisons, vous conduisez, ils conduisent, elles conduisent. Okay, so basically these verbs are not really tricky. They're not really difficult. The only thing that you get to remember is that this is S here, conduisons. Okay, because, well, I won't get into that, but if you would put this R here, it would be the future form. Okay, but then here, keep in mind that you get to put S here. Conduisons, and then conduisez, and here conduisent. So we'll see now the other verbs that will actually be conjugated like conduire. Construire, cuire, déduire, détruire, instruire, introduire, nuire, produire, reproduire, réduire, séduire, traduire, and few others. Okay, so let's see them one more time. Construire, cuire, déduire, détruire, instruire, introduire, nuire, produire, reproduire, réduire, séduire, traduire. And of course, you are expecting the translation. I know that. And this is the reason why you will get them. So, construire means construct, build. Cuire, cook. Déduire, deduct, deduce. Détruire, destroy. Instruire, educate, instruct. Introduire, introduce, insert. Nuire, harm, damage. Produire, produce, make. Reproduire, reproduce, copy. Réduire, reduce, decrease. Séduire, charm. Traduire, translate. Okay, so keep in mind that these verbs here will actually be conjugated like we saw a few minutes ago. Voilà. Les verbes du troisième groupe, and more precisely, we'll see the verbs that are ending with ER, okay, and remember they can be quite tricky, so that's the reason why we will take the time to have a look at them, okay. And so basically in that case, so the verbs ending with ER, we'll see three categories. The first one, it will be what we call les verbes à un radical, okay, so we'll see that a bit later, but radical is the stem, the root, okay. So actually these ones are quite easy to conjugate. The second group is les verbes à deux radicaux. So now it's getting a bit difficult because it will mean that these verbs will have actually two stems or roots, if you want. So we'll see that. Don't worry. And then this third group, oh, it's a strange one here. But then actually we're talking about les verbes à trois radicaux. So in that case, we will see that, well, they are the most tricky one. But then don't worry, we'll manage to understand how it works. Okay, so let's see now, and we'll start with the easy thing, and it's better, and it's les verbes à un radical. So the verbs ending with er, and in that case, I thought it might be interesting to take the verb ouvrir. Ouvrir is to open, okay, so it's quite useful. And so the idea is that this final er will be taken away to get the stem, the root. And so after that you will get j'ouvre, tu ouvres, il ouvre, elle ouvre, nous ouvrons, vous ouvrez, ils ouvrent, elles ouvrent. Okay, so it's clear that we've got this verb ouvrir. Okay, so ouvrir is the ending with er. And as I told you here, you should take this er away. Okay, so you'll get the form ouvr, and then after that you will add, so the endings, e for je, so that's the reason why you get j'ouvre. For tu, you will add es, and that's the reason why you will get tu ouvres. For il, elle, you will add e, ouvre. Okay, so basically you get the same phonetical form here. Okay, it's the same pronunciation, but you should write it ouvre, ouvre, es, ouvre, e. Okay, and then for nous, well, the classic ending, ons, ouvrons, nous ouvrons, and then for vous, classic ending ez, vous ouvrez, il, elle, classic ending ent, ils ouvrent, elles ouvrent. Okay, so it's actually not that difficult if you think about this little thing. So you should take this er away and just add these endings. Okay, so we'll see now few verbs that will actually be conjugated the same way ouvrir is, and it's couvrir, découvrir, cueillir, accueillir, recueillir, assaillir, souffrir, and a few others. Okay, but these are the main ones. Couvrir, découvrir, cueillir, accueillir, recueillir, assaillir, and then souffrir. I don't know why there is a little dot here, but then don't bother with this. And of course, as in most of the cases, I try to give you the translation, and here it goes. So couvrir means to cover or to wrap. Découvrir, to discover. Cueillir, gather, pick. Accueillir, welcome. Recueillir, collect, gather. Assaillir, assault, attack, and then souffrir, to suffer. Okay, so these verbs here will be conjugated the same way ouvrir is, and it's not that difficult. Okay, so now let's see the second group, so what we call les verbes à deux radicaux. And so we'll take partir. Partir is to leave. We use this verb quite often, okay? So basically it's quite important to see how to conjugate that at the present form. And so, as I said, the idea is that we will have two different roots, two different stems, okay? And the first one will be PAR for the singular form. So we're talking about je, tu, il and elle, so the singular form, okay? And then for the plural form, we will have part, okay? And we're talking about nous, vous, il, elle. So let's see how it will go, okay? So the first form will be je pars, okay? Remember, you put this S, you don't pronounce it. Je pars. Then you will get tu pars, il, elle, part. So the first thing that you get to keep in mind, you've got this final S, final T, but then you don't pronounce them. So phonetically, je pars, tu pars, il part, elle part. The same form. And then, if you think about what we saw, here we should have this first part here, and then the endings after. And that's the reason why we will get nous partons. Okay, so you've got this P-A-R-T, and then we put the ending O-N-S, the classic one. Vous partez, same way, and then obviously we'll have il part, elle part. Okay, so the first part P-A-R-T, and then the ending E-N-T. Okay, and this is the tricky thing with this verb partir. It's just to remember that when you get the singular or the plural, well, basically you will have different stems, okay? So the first one, keep in mind that you will have this PAR, and then you will add the ending S for je, S for tu, T for il, elle. Phonetically, je pars, tu pars, il part, elle part, okay? And for the plural, as we saw, you just keep this P-A-R-T and you add the endings O-N-S, E-Z, E-N-T. And you will get nous partons, vous partez, ils partent, elles partent. Alright? So, let's see now the verbs that will be conjugated like partir. Sortir, dormir, servir, sentir, mentir, se repentir, and few others. Okay, so sortir, dormir, servir, sentir, mentir, se repentir. And of course, you would like to have the translation. Sortir means to go out, dormir, sleep, servir, serve or be used for, sentir, smell, feel, mentir, lie, se repentir, express remorse. Okay, so keep in mind that these verbs will actually be conjugated like partir. Okay, and last but not least, don't be afraid. So now we've got the last group of verbs ending with er, and these verbs will belong to the group of verbes à trois radicaux. So obviously you understand now what I'm talking about, and we'll see how it goes. And in that case, well, basically the idea with venir, so I decided to take venir. Venir is to come. Same thing, it's a quite used verb, so that's the reason why I think it's important to see how it goes. And so the difficult thing with this group of verbs is actually you will have one form for the singular. So we're talking here about je, tu, il, elle. Okay, so in that case, the stem, the root will be vient, V-I-E-N. Okay, then we will have another root or stem for nous and vous at the plural form, and it will be V-E-N. Okay, so you can see that it's not the same. And last but not least, we'll have a third stem or root for il, elle at the plural form, and it will be viennent. And this is the tricky thing with venir, and we'll see the other verbs that will be conjugated like it. You've got three forms here. So vient for the singular, ven like that for the plural, but then it's only nous and vous, and then viennent for the plural, il, elle. So let's see how it goes. Je viens, tu viens, il vient, elle vient. Okay, so we do agree that we respect the rule, so you take this VEN and then you put it right here, and after that you will put the ending. Okay, then think about what we saw, nous and vous, so they're coming right now. We should use this VEN stem. So that's what we are going to do. Nous venons. Okay, so you put back this VEN, and after that you will put your ending ONS. Nous venons, then you will get vous venez. Okay, and the last one, remember here, for il, elle at the plural form, you will use this viennent here, and then you will add the ending ENT. Ils viennent, elles viennent. Okay, and so this is, well, normally what is difficult, trying to remember how to conjugate them, and especially keeping that fact in mind that for the singular you will put this VIEN, and then you will add S for je, S for tu, and T for il, elle. Okay, and phonetically it's the it's the same form. So you get je viens, okay, tu viens, il vient, elle vient. And then it was quite fast. But then for nous and vous, okay, you will put this VEN, all right, and you will add the ending ONS for nous, EZ for vous, okay, and you get nous venons, vous venez. And the last part, remember, well, basically for il, elle, you will put back this V-I-E-N, and you will put the ending ENT, and you'll get ils viennent, elles viennent. And it can be quite tricky, because if you think about that, especially phonetically, it's challenging in a way, because you get this nasal sound here, je viens, okay, viens, tu viens, well, the same, il vient, elle vient. Then you will get this venons, okay, keep in mind that it's really in that case, venons, venez, and the last one, because you've got this double N here, you need to pronounce this like and that's the reason why you should pronounce it viennent, viennent, okay? So, ils viennent, elles viennent. So, just one more time to make it clear. Je viens, tu viens, il vient, elle vient, nous venons, vous venez, ils viennent, elles viennent. And so let's see now the verbs that will actually be conjugated like venir, and we're talking about tenir, contenir, détenir, maintenir, obtenir, devenir, revenir, intervenir, se souvenir, and few others. Okay, so tenir, contenir, détenir, maintenir, obtenir, devenir, revenir, intervenir, se souvenir. So let's see now the translations. Tenir, hold, keep. Contenir, contain. Détenir, possess, have. Maintenir, keep, maintain. Obtenir, obtain, get. Devenir, become. Revenir, come back. Intervenir, intervene. Se souvenir, remember. Les verbes du troisième groupe, and more precisely, how to conjugate les verbes, the verbs that are ending with URE. Okay, so UR. And well, actually, even if it's, let's call it a micro group, I think it's quite important to just take the time to see how to conjugate these verbs. Okay, and so the example I wanted to use or to take is conclure, and basically it means to end, close, or conclude. Okay, so let's see how we will conjugate conclure. Je conclus, tu conclus, il conclut, elle conclut, nous concluons, vous concluez, il conclut, elle conclut. So as usual, let's say that the singular is not that difficult, because probably you would put that without knowing that it goes like that. S-S-T. Okay, so you get conclu, conclu, conclu. Okay, the same phonetical form here. The tricky thing in a way is for nous, vous, il, elle of the plural, because basically you don't put anything between this U and the ending. So you get this concluons, okay? So don't put any S or anything here. So it's not conclusion or conclurons or something like that. For the present form, it's concluons. Okay, concluez, and then here conclu. Okay, keep in mind that even if you put this final ENT, so the ending, you don't pronounce it. So phonetically, you get conclu. Conclu. Okay, so je conclus, tu conclus, il conclut, elle conclut, nous concluons, vous concluez, il conclut, elle conclut. And so when I say it's a micro group, it's just because you will see that we've got actually two verbs that will be conjugated like conclure. But you know, honestly, it's quite important to introduce them anyway because they are not that tricky to conjugate. And it's inclure and exclure. Okay, so inclure, exclure, and I'm pretty sure that you understand how or what they mean without the translations, but of course I will offer you the translation, and it's inclure means to include or incorporate, and then exclure, exclude or get rid of. Okay. Les verbes du troisième groupe, and more precisely, we'll see together how to conjugate at the present form the verbs ending with VRE, okay, vre. So let's see that together. And so the example I wanted to take is quite useful because it's vivre, and vivre means to live. And so the tricky thing that you've got to keep in mind with this group of verbs is that it will have actually two stems or two roots. So we'll see practically what it does mean, okay? But then keep in mind that for the singular form, so je, tu, and then il, elle, actually the stem or the root will be vi, okay? So basically you take away this vre ending. Okay, and then for the plural form, so it will be nous, vous, and then il, elle. The stem or the root will be v, v. Okay, so and that's the difficult thing because for the singular the stem will be vi, for the plural it will be v. Okay, so let's see now how it will go when we conjugate this verb. So you will get je vis, tu vis, il vit, elle vit. Okay, so we do agree that you take this root or this stem here, you put it right here, and after that you will put the ending. For je it will be s, for tu it will be s the same, and for il, elle it will be t. And so if we keep the logic as we saw now for the plural form, we will take VIV, and then after that we will add the ending, and the classic ending for nous is ONS. Nous vivons. Vous vivez. Ils vivent. Elles vivent. Okay, so if you have this thing quite clearly in mind that we've got two stems, so the first one for the singular is VI plus the endings, and then for the plural it will be VIV plus the ending, then you will master this verb and the other verbs that will actually be conjugated like it. Okay, so let's see now the endings. Remember, for je it's S, for tu S, and for il T. So this is the reason why we get je vis, tu vis, il vit, elle vit. Okay, and then for nous the ending is ONS, so you get nous vivons, then EZ, vous vivez, and after that ENT, ils vivent, elles vivent. Alright, so let's see now what verbs are actually conjugated like vivre. And we've got suivre, poursuivre, revivre, survivre, and few others, but then these are the main ones. So suivre, poursuivre, revivre, survivre. Okay, so let's see what they mean. Suivre, it's to follow. Poursuivre, pursue, chase. Revivre, relive, live through again. Survivre, survive. Okay, and these verbs will actually be conjugated like vivre that we saw a few minutes ago.